Right guys and girls, so if you watched this previous video, we've been doing a full polybush kit on our 90. We took the rear track bar off and we said that we wasn't going to refit that because we've got new sumo bars to fit. So in this video that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll get these opened up. Very well packaged. That well packaged, I can't get into them. So, nice shiny track bar. Very pretty. And in here, drag bar, steering bar, whatever you want to call it. Make sure there's no towels in box. No, that's it. We're good to go. Right, so these are obviously replacement heavy duty sumo bars, steering bars. So we've got a track bar and a drag bar. But we're not just leaving it at that. So the Defenders, all Defenders, if you come over here, they have this drop arm with a replaceable ball joint in there, which is absolutely terrible. You fit a new one in 2 minutes, it's got playing it again. It's just terrible. So Gwen Lewis 4x4 have produced this very nice kit to replace the drop arm with this, which is, I believe, a Discovery 2 drop arm. And what you're doing is you're replacing that so you can put a proper ball joint in there, which is same as what's on your track bar and other end of your drag bar. It makes truck drive a lot nicer. They feel a lot more precise and you're not changing them every 5 minutes. So if you are swapping steering bars for heavy duty, I would not even consider leaving that on. Just get one of these kits because they're loads better. So we'll carry on unwrapping this. If you order through Gwen Lewis's site, they do they're very good, very thorough when you're ordering. They also offer 3 different brands of track rod ends. So these are the Lemforder, I think that's how you pronounce it, close enough. So they've got like a more of a polyurethane boot on, heavy duty boot, and a stainless steel clip. And most importantly, they are greasable, so they're going to last a lot longer. We went for good ones because obviously we want to do it right first time, so we'll crack on. As I said, we remove the track bar to do polybushes, so we'll crack on with removing the rest of the stuff. Okay, so we're going to start by removing old drag bar, steering damper, get all that fetched off. So we're not going to even bother doing out with old circlips. We'll just cut them off and abuse them off, so they all go in its scrap bin. Unless it goes like that and starts spinning. So we'll have to come back to that one. That usually happens and it just rips pin apart and abuses it all off, but other side that's decided to spin. So what we'll do is we'll get nut runner on it, that might fetch it off. If not, it's grinder time. just like that. That never happens. You usually have to thrash them and beat them to death to come off, but hey ho, it's made me look a liar. 13 and a 15 for them. I reckon that's seen better days. Oh, it's not having it. Spin that round there. There we have it. So that's how it goes. You get one end that it just literally drops out, and then the other one you have to near enough kill it to get it off. So now that's off. We'll whip steering damper off, and then that's out of his way. We're not going to be trying to party around that. We've got Old Man Emu shocks on this one, and I like to keep everything the same, but I ain't got a Old Man Emu steering damper on shelf, but I've got a Fox steering damper on shelf, and I just don't think I've got the art to put nice shiny steering bars on it and put that back on. That's grim, ain't it? We might have to launch that one as well. Next protocol, we'll tap keep plate back on there and have a wrestle with this guy. Can you see that, Laura? I do want some daylight on it. So knock that one back. I think that's about a 32 from memory. Is it going to be a 32? No, 34 maybe. There it is. Oh, might need a bigger cracker bar on this. Yep. That is tight. One extreme to the other, isn't it? There. Ooh. Have that. So when you're attacking out on the steering side, what I like to do is I like to start with your steering wheel straight, and it gives you a rough idea where to put everything back together. Now, it's not uncommon for these to absolutely be seized to death, so we could have a fight on his hands getting this off. In a lot of instances, we've had to cut through them to get them off. You can't put heat on them, obvious reasons, steering box, seals, etc. So that's out of question. So it's puller, get a puller on it. Hopefully that'll come off. If not, it's angry spanner out and sit back for an hour or two. So we'll give it a go. We'll give it a tap for a start, give it a chance, see what happens. No, not having it. So I'll come back in a minute with puller. So as you can see, puller 1-0. That's the original. I'm going to throw that as far as we can away from here. You really need one of these to get that off. They don't always work. Like I say, you sometimes have to cut, grind, cut, grind, cut, grind till there's no left on them. But 80% of the time, they'll do a trick. So if you're attempting it, you really need one of these close by, or at least know somebody who's got one. We're going to clean bottom of the steering box up now. Your old oil, grease, soil, whatever else is on there, get it off. Don't go too mad with it because there is a seal on the bottom of there. Got some WD. Now that's clean. Right, we'll get some new bits. Right, we've got that off, everything's stripped down, so we're ready to put some new bits on. Gwen Lewis stuff, so it comes with instructions, it gives you torque settings and all that kind of stuff, and it gives you instructions on, you know, where you should be setting it up, etc. So we're not going to go into all that. Obviously, if you're fitting a kit yourself, then you know you really need to read into all this stuff, make sure you're happy with everything, everything's in the right place, and of course, once all this is fitted, to get it right, you will need to have it tracked and all that kind of stuff. So we're not going to get into all that. We're just basically showing you how we're fitting everything, and then setup needs to be done properly. Get it on a machine and get it all set up. So we'll get this guy back in. So these only go on a spline. They're on a spline, but as you can see up there, you've got splines and then you've got one big one. So that only goes on in certain positions, so you can't get it on wrong really. So we're going to put that on there. So there is a torque setting in there for this, and I will be torquing it up, but right now I'm just gonna get a quick nip up just so we can get everything else fitted. So right, Come back over here, Laura. These boxes, obviously, right hand, left hand, left hand. Got another one here, another right hand. In instructions it tells you which nuts, which thread. Obviously one's got a cutout in it. Like I say, Gwen Lewis instructions are very good. And they're always on the other end of the phone if you need anything, which is nice. So we're going to go for a right hand. I think the right hand ones, yeah, right hand ones are the ones with the grooving. So just grab a spanner for this. This is where your righty-tighty, lefty-loosey comes in. Can put a smidge of grease on these if you like, but everything's brand new and it's going to get looked after, so not really bothering. Plus, who wants the steering components to come loose? Not me. Put that on there so we don't lose it. So that's one down. We'll get a left hand one out now. Left hand thread. So when I'm building these up, I like to get them quite far in. Straighten them up. Get them quite far in, and then obviously you've just got to wind them out to suit. I'll put that other clip there. So before I go ahead and fit these, it's not an exact science at all, but what I do is just lay them on the floor so your track rod end's roughly straight, your new one's roughly straight, line it up about there, and then you've got roughly, and like I say, it's not an exact science, it's roughly, you're roughly in line at this end as well. So that just gives you a rough idea that everything's pointing somewhat in the right direction. Plus it makes you, if you're taking it down to your local tyre service or whatever, it makes their life a little bit easier because they're not stood there winding everything for an age. So, right, we can get this one chucked on the truck now. As always, when you're fitting a new track rod end, just wire brush, fetch tops off. Get rid of a washout, I'll get a rag. something like that. Did I just bang my head on your camera? So there it is. That's basically that fitted. Obviously it needs tightening up, but we'll get backside wire brushed up, get them cleaned up, ready for the new one to go on back. Apologise in advance if I'm blinding everybody with my headlamp. Probably Laura more than anybody. Had to get you some sunglasses to wear.
Please do.
Right, that's that. So we can go and get track bar built up now. So same again as drag bar. A left and a right. You can get these sumo bars in stainless steel as well if you really want to push those down. Pity these threads aren't a bit longer. Bless you.
Thank you.
Again, same as before, I like to wind these right in, so you know you've got a starting point kind of thing then, opposed to guessing basically where end of it is. Left hand threads always do my brain a little bit. As I said before, Gwen Lewis offer 3 different grades of track rod ends with these kits, and it is a full kit. You don't have to go on the website ordering individual parts. It is a complete kit. You can get bits of it if you want, but it's just easier to go for full kit. So you get 3 different choices for track rod ends. These were better ones. There's not much difference in price really while you're doing it and you're fitting them. I'd go for good ones. going to pay off at end of the day as well. When they've got grease nipples fitted, they last a lot longer. So on your service, you can just get under there with grease gun wire grease nip props and keep them fresh. So same again with this one. Kick that one out way. Like I say, I can't stress this enough that it's not an exact science, it's just a bit of a guesstimate. So line it up at that end. Obviously you can see, if you come to this end, Laura, you can see we're a bit too short there, so crack that off there. Roll it out a little bit. A bit more. And a little bit too much, won't it? Yeah, too much. That's close enough. It's close enough. Like I say, just gives your man that's tracking it down at local tyre bay just a bit of a hand out. Plus, if you have got a drive truck there as well, your tyres aren't going to be scrubbing badly. Get that ish. Each spanner for that one. You can do this when it's on truck, but it's just a bit easier to do it here. Oh, close enough. We're happy with that. Bloody heavy these as well, opposed to original ones. Originals are like drinking straws. At this point, I'm not tightening anything up tight. I'm pulling them in so they're fitted, they're snug, but I'm not tightening anything up. Some people like to tighten everything up as they go, but that's just my way of doing it. I like to get everything fitted, get everything lined up, and then go around everything after when I've finished, and I'm happy that everything's tight and where it should be. So next thing, we'll fit a steering damper mount, so we'll go and get that. Right, obviously let me grab this, show you. So this standard bar has the mount for your steering damper to fit. The new bars, the sumo bars, it's just a bar, there's none of that on it. So get rid of that. That's where this guy comes in. as I said before, Gwen Lewis, they're rarely particular with instructions and all that kind of stuff, so we're not going to get into all fitting. If you buy this kit, then you'll get all this and you can read it and it's fresh in your head. So we're going to stick that on there. But as I said before, I ain't got art to fit that scabby old steering damper to this nice shiny new bar. So I found this on the shelf. It was left over from another job. So I think if we don't tell anybody, then they might not notice that it's gone missing. So I think we'll get away with it. But how much more better is that going to look? Hey?
Yeah.
That's going to look more gooder, isn't it? So we'll, as I said, it comes with all instructions to tell you how to fit it, so we're not going to get into all that, where to fit it and all that kind of stuff. Obviously there's adjustment on this which you can play about with when you're fitting everything out the truck, so we're going to get this whacked on. Right, so that fits something like that. Horseshoe clamp, couple of knots. That's one. I'll take one at nuts to the toolbox with me so I get right size, unless it's 13. It is 13, that's nice. Get a ratchet spanner, that'll save me some time. Obviously, like with any U-bolt, nip it up evenly, or as even as you possibly can. So that's going to sit about there. As I say, instructions tell you exactly where to put it. So that's that. Your nice new shiny nut and bolt and washer. So I'll get a bit of copper grease for the chassis end. So like that. Turn that off a minute, don't need that. So obviously, if you follow our page and one thing and another, you know we use a lot of Fox stuff and I'm a real big fan of it, I love it. We've used Old Man Emu shocks on this purely because we wanted something a bit heavier duty for off-road, plus a little bit longer, which obviously Fox, the off-the-shelf, the kind of standard length, so that's what we fit. If I hadn't been lifting this, it would have had Fox on every day a week. Nothing wrong with Old Man Emu, they're great shocks, but just like Fox. But we can get away with we're fitting a Fox steering damper. Bit of copper grease. Nope. Drop them now. because I keep taking my copper grease away. Have a bit on that end, bit in that. I think according to Gwen Lewis's instructions, this mount has to be mounted so your steering damper is about at half mast when you're in straight head position, something like that. This was a hard bit there. Wipe that off, now I'm covered in copper grease. I'm polishing that steering damper already, look. So we've got that at a point where we're happy with. Next thing, diff guard. We'll get that back on. My wire brush, just give this a bit of a clean up before it goes back on. This style of diff guard, it's probably a better one, really, because it can't you can't rip it off like the ones that just shove on and grab out of your diff pan. So these are the one to buy, but obviously when you're checking your diff oil, it always runs down inside, so you'll get drips off it for quite some time. So whenever I have this off, I like to just get a bit of a clean out inside. That'll do it. I'm not being too precious with that. So that's something like that. Get two rear bolts back in. Some grass stuck in there from billing. Can be a bit fiddly these to get on, but once they're on, they're on. We'll nip that one up first. Just load it in a bit better position. That's them tight. So standard, if you ain't got one of these types of diff guards, what you should have, come under here Laura, what you should have bolted here is, it bolts in the same place there, it's just like a small guard that goes round your steering bar, and that's basically just to stop it, if it does bend, stop it bending all the way, so it keeps some kind of square. Obviously if you're putting on these diff guards on, you take that off, throw it as far as you possibly can, and fit something that's actually going to do a decent job. So that's that. Like I say, first thing you're going to do, first place you're going to drive when you've done all this is to tyre service or people that's going to track it for you, because you don't want to believe in that. It's dangerous and it'll just kill your tyres in no time. So tracking is the first thing that you need to be doing. Obviously a lot more heavy duty. You're not going to bend them out on trail somewhere, and this Droparm, this kit, it is night and day. If if you've driven Defenders for a long time, you'll understand when when you drive it. So definitely worth buying this one. I've just got to go around now, torque bottom at steering box up, go around, tighten everything else up. Like I say, I'm not going to go into all that because Gwen Lewis kits, they come with really good detailed instructions, so you don't need me to tell you. When you get your kit, it'll all be there explained. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed watching. As always, give us a like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.